You're watching Pulse for the 13th or 14th of December, and it's time for some StarCraft news. In this week's episode, we talk about the StarCraft II Wings of Liberty Season 4 lock, we have a look at some GSL and Blizzard Cup updates, TeamLiquid and TotalBiscuit's ProCraft, and more. Let's get to it. As a lot of you, and mostly those constantly laddering in StarCraft II already know, Season 4 is drawing to a close, and that means that all the ladders will be locked soon. While most of you already know the drill by now, I'll just tell you once again that during the Season 4 lock you can no longer be promoted or demoted out of your current league or division, and your bonus pool will stop growing. That doesn't mean you should stop playing though. Once locked to a league or division, you'll still be able to play out your remaining bonus pool and compete for stand-in in your division until the end of the season. So this is a great time to have fun and to try boost that MMR a bit. You might well get that promotion when the next season starts. So all that said, for the US guys out there, the Season 4 lock is going into effect on Tuesday, December the 13th. And for the EU guys, that'll be Wednesday, December the 14th. Season 5 is obviously also right around the corner. During the week of December the 19th, Season 4 will end and Season 5 will begin. So you can read more about this below and prepare. Now we're going to move on to our GSL updates. First up, as you probably all already knew and I mentioned in the previous episode, the GSL Code S has been completed. The two players in the GSL Code S finals this month were Jakji and Lenok. And I gotta say, this epic clash between both these incredibly young StarCraft II players was well worth watching. After 6 grueling games, Jakji defeated the MLG Providence winner Lenok with a decisive 4-2 victory. You can obviously check any of those games out in standard definition over at the GomTV website if you missed them. Now we're going to move on to the Code A, and this is where things are, once again, as I always say, confusing. So before just checking the results out, I'm going to tell you that, as you all probably know already, the format of the GSL Code A has changed quite drastically. The Code A actually finishes at the round of 24. So the 12 players that won their round of 24 games automatically advance into Code S without going through the up and down matches. That's a pretty big deal, and I would say for any of them, that's enough of a victory. Now there's actually more to this format than I'm explaining here, and you can read more about that below, but I can tell you briefly that 16 Code A round of 32 losers, 12 Code A round of 24 losers, and 2 international seeds, so that's 30 players altogether, will move through to the up and down matches. The 12 players that won their round of 24 matches are Keen, Nesty, Brown, MC, Gunzi, Dongregu, Parting, Happy, Finn, and yes, I was super impressed by Finn's run through the Code A, Supernova, Curious, and Marine King. They will in fact have the honor of moving up into the Code S without playing the up and down matches. You can read more about that below. But now let's move on to the Blizzard Cup updates. There's a lot of interesting stuff going down here. If you didn't know, the players have been chosen and the stage has been set for the GomTV 2011 GSL Blizzard Cup. This tournament is pretty much just an extra to keep everyone busy, and based on tournament results, the top 10 players of 2011 have been split into 2 groups of 5 to play each other to see who can rise to the top. After a single round of group play, which has actually already been completed, we'll talk about those results in just a second, the top 3 performers from each group will be placed into brackets based on their record. The final 6 players will then battle it out for the right to call themselves the GSL 2011 champion, or at least a GSL 2011 champion. So I'm not going to be introducing every single player, but we will be looking at the results, so you should see all of them there. If you're wondering, the epic finals are set to happen on Saturday the 17th of December. You can also obviously find all those matches and the schedules for those matches below. Let's have a look at what happened so far, and then after that we're gonna talk about some drama that went down. Firstly, in Group A, the 3 players that made it through to the brackets are Dongregu, MVP and MC. Both Stefano and Hero dropped out. In Group B, which is actually the drama-filled one, we've got MMA, Lenok and Pult progressing, and Nesty and Naniwa were unable to make the cut. As you can see in the brackets, MC is set to play against Lenok, Pult versus MVP, and then both Dongregu and MMA are waiting for their opponents. One thing worth noting is that we will absolutely have a Terran in the finals, so that's pretty normal, I'd say, for a GSL event. Now these matches will be starting on December the 14th, and as I mentioned, the finals are on December the 17th. So if you can, try catch these live. I'm sure it'll be worth watching. Now let's move on to that drama I mentioned. Basically what happened was that both Nesty and Naniwa were 0-3 down in their group. Naniwa had just come off losing one of his games and was probably not too happy. Well, when the game started, he selected all his probes and A-moved across the map to his opponent's base. Apparently, he didn't even have his hands on his keyboard or mouse and wasn't controlling or microing the probes in any way. So that said, there are a lot of posts up about this. Most of them are rage posts. Most people are saying that Naniwa, after doing something like that, doesn't deserve to be invited to any GSL events ever again. Needless to say, I think that's an overreaction and people are getting needlessly upset about this. Now I do find it a little cowardly perhaps, seeing that most of the world wanted to see a rematch between Naniwa and Nesty because of what happened at BlizzCon. And then the fact that he throws the game in such a ridiculous manner, well, that's just not very professional. So a lot of big names including Nesty, MC, Choya, MVP, JYP, Keen, Guinea Pig and many others have commented about this, and I would say most of them are not favorable comments. On the flip side, a lot of people are saying, well, calm down everyone, it's not such a big deal. And I suppose I would side with those guys. Keep saying that. So I'm definitely not going to read all these rude comments right here in this episode, but I will link you guys to all of them. And I would absolutely love it if you guys could tell me what you think about this. Do you think it's as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? I mean, I have to say that he must have really let his fans down. And that, combined with the fact that I suppose it's pretty disrespectful doing something like that, especially while it's being aired live to thousands and thousands of StarCraft fans, thousands and thousands of Naniwa fans, and thousands of Nesty fans. I guess in the end I'm just undecided about this. Anyway, read more about this below and tell me what you guys think. I'd love to hear it. Next up, we have something much happier to talk about before heading into the smalls. TotalBiscuit and TeamLiquid have launched ProCraft. Yes, this is 2 weeks of TotalLiquid. So this new partnership between TeamLiquid and the cynical Brit does sound pretty intriguing. What's going to happen is, for the next 2 weeks, TotalBiscuit will be casting a new TeamLiquid replay every single day. So why is that so special? Well, the games that TotalBiscuit's going to be casting are from a never-before-seen TeamLiquid replay pack. So these games will in fact be totally fresh, new and exciting. And there's no need to even mention the fact that they will all have at least one Liquid player in them. Along with this, there's also an interview with TotalBiscuit, and I will say it's a pretty lengthy interview that just covers all the details, his motivations, and his enthusiasm for the project. You can check all of that out below, and start finding those first casts over at the TotalBiscuit YouTube channel. I think it's great how much TotalBiscuit's doing for StarCraft II and esports right now. I mean, if you couple this with his Showcraft, his Shoutcraft Invitationals, his casting of live events, it just can't be matched. There will be a link to the channel on your screens right now, and it will open in a new window. If you didn't know, that is his secondary YouTube channel that is pretty much entirely dedicated to StarCraft II. Now with that done, let's head on over to the StarCraft II smalls. As with last week, I'm going to once again just be throwing all the smalls together. I will give you the tournament and event smalls first, and then we're going to move on to the community smalls. So first up in the tournament and event smalls, you can read about the NASL Season 2 Grand Finals. Yes, a champion has been crowned, and that champion is in fact EG Puma. Then you can read how MVP took World Cyber Games 2011, Violet won Polarfluke Xmas 2011, Nurchio won the Dignitas Scan Invitational. You can read how Shoutcraft Invitational 4 will be moved back to January. That's not such a long time to wait. You can read about the Fnatic MSI Play SC2 Christmas Challenge. Check out a post covering the Home Story Cup 4, Welcome to 2012. Read about the Arena Planet Championship Winter Event. And lastly, read how InControl's Rumble in Bronze raised over $18,000 for charity. That's pretty grand. Now in the community smalls, read the latest StarCraft Art of War post, this one about timing attacks. Then read how StarCraft II might be better than chess for science. Complexity has transferred Naniwa to Quantic Gaming, and there's an interview with Naniwa about this move. Greetop has joined up with Itsugosu Esports as their team coach. Desro is going to Korea. Liquid TLO has tweeted that he's going back to Korea in 2012. You can have a look at his StarTale Inside the House feature. You can see some updates on Idra in the Slayer's house. Read an interview with the female member of OGS, Jongmi. Then read a bunch of different articles on Glider from the portrait art right here on YouTube and his YouTube spotlight movement. It seemed like absolutely everyone in the StarCraft community tried to help get this guy featured on the YouTube homepage, and he did in fact win. If you were wondering why everyone was so quick to help him, well, apparently he helps TeamLiquid out with art such as the portraits for the TSL events. They were pretty cool, so I guess he does deserve it. Anyway, as I said, there are a bunch of posts about that below. Then check out a comic titled Struggling with ZVZ, a TLO versus Boxer game analysis graphic. This is really cool and very detailed. Then an interesting post titled The GG After a Game. Have a look at a LAN party optimized house, which I think will make pretty much anyone jealous. Right here on YouTube you can watch Day 9's sexy math humor. It's from Day 9 Daily number 381, and you can check out A Very Drooby Christmas. Lastly, have a look at StarCraft II for the holidays. A pretty cool video from the guys over at the game station, just in time for Christmas. Well, sort of. Sadly, that's all I have for you in the StarCraft news this week. Remember to check the description below this video for everything that I spoke about. There are indeed a lot of links down there. Like the video, favorite it, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Check back here soon for more, but most importantly, happy StarCrafting.